no, see, I'm just copying Pep, mate. Should have got 4 today.
Nestled in the heart of Melbourne, a young boy named Ange Postecoglou was writing the first chapter of a storied footballing journey. This wasn't just a pastime, it was a passion, kindled and nurtured by his father's love for the game. But what did this mean for Ange's own destiny? Did this affection for football carve out his path even before he realized the sounds of cheers echoed in the stadiums of South Melbourne Hellas, where Ange emerged as more than just another player. He embodied the hopes, dreams, and pride of the Greek community. Handed the captain's armband at the age of 22, he was set on a trajectory of leadership. But was this the climax of Ange's football tale, or was the real journey just beginning? With each game, Ange's presence was felt more distinctly. Commanding respect with fierce tackles and unyielding leadership, he wasn't just a player, he was the team's heartbeat. And as his time with South Melbourne started to wane, questions arose. What next for Ange? Would he hang up his boots, or did destiny have another plan for him? The pages of history recall a triumphant South Melbourne, winning consecutive NSL titles under Ange's management. They even dared to challenge titans like Manchester United. The boy from Melbourne was making waves, but challenges were looming. Could he replicate this success beyond Australian shores, beyond his comfort zone? The leap from club to country is vast. Ange soon found himself at the helm of Australia's U20 side. But success is never linear. A rocky journey in the World Cup and a clash with a TV interviewer marked low points in Ange's illustrious career.
TV, I don't have to be there. Your results are standing. Your results tell everything, Ange.
Okay, all right. So, Fozzie, your assumption is that I should resign, is that right?
I think you are paid to qualify the team, then when you get there you should get... Yeah, I think you should put your hand up and say, in the last 2 qualification campaigns I've failed and I'm paid to do it. That's what you're paid for.
So you're saying I should resign. So you're saying I should resign.
I think
that's your opinion, is that right?
That's my opinion.
Fine. So you've stated your opinion. Let's move on.
What do you ask?
So is there any other questions, or is that it? Is that your whole medical analysis of it?
Well, are you going to?
Sorry?
Are you going to resign then? That's the next question.
No, of course I'm not going to resign.
He admits, it made me unemployable. I couldn't even get an assistant coaching role. How would Ange rebound from this setback? After proving himself in Australia's domestic setup, Ange was set for a grander stage. In 2013, the Australian national team called. Tasked with reviving the Socceroos' fortunes, Postecoglou faced immense pressure. This was a team that had failed to inspire confidence in recent international tournaments. But, if history was any indicator, Ange was the man to reverse those fortunes. The Asian Cup 2015, hosted by Australia, would be the platform where Ange's prowess was fully exhibited. Under his guidance, the Socceroos not only played a brand of exciting football, but also achieved results. Match after match, they took down heavyweights and wrote their own destiny. The climax? A thrilling final against South Korea. And in true Postecoglou style, the Socceroos emerged as champions, winning their first ever Asian Cup. It wasn't just a trophy, it was a statement to the world. The boy from Melbourne had placed Australia atop Asia's football pyramid. This triumph solidified his status in Australian football folklore. Yet, Postecoglou, never one to rest on laurels, was ready for new horizons. Japan. A nation passionate about its football. Here, Ange discovered Yokohama Marinos, a side that had seen better days. But under his watchful eyes, they transformed, finishing second and then champions in successive years. Rumors of Greek national team's interest in Ange swirled, but he remained in Japan. Was European football on horizon. The Scottish Highlands echoed with whispers. Celtic FC announced Ange as their head coach. Naysayers and critics were plenty. One vocal doubter, media personality Alan Brazil, questioned the appointment given Ange's lack of a UEFA Pro license. He does not hold a UEFA Pro license. Ooh, this has got to be a wind-up. Nah, Brazil scoffed. But in true Ange style, he silenced his critics, clinching the Scottish Premiership and the domestic treble. Yet again, he had risen against the odds.
We must be better, that's just careless for me. And only that's not there for a second. There's 1, 2, 3, we cannot consider it all there. There's got to be a reaction there. Stop! Do you want to be softer?
But as whispers of his move to Tottenham began, was the Premier League ready for Ange's genius? With Harry Kane's departure to Bayern, the challenges at Tottenham seemed immense. But challenges, as we've seen, only fuel Ange's determination. Early signs indicate a Tottenham side reborn. Wins against giants like Manchester United and draws against formidable sides like Arsenal hinted at the dawn of a new era. But with all said and done, is the Premier League truly ready for the relentless rise of Ange Postecoglou?
I'll give you my story of the week. I met Ozzy Ardiles yesterday. Absolute legend of the football club. And growing up in Australia, you know, that time of him and Ricky Villa, I mean, you know, we were sort of, well, we held him up as kind of idols. We weren't Tottenham supporters, but just players who you just go, wow. And when I got the job, one of my best mates said, you know, you've got to get a photo with Ozzy Ardiles, you know. So I was wrapped yesterday, but he was also my go-to trivia question, because when we were growing up, we had a famous Australian footballer, Craig Johnson, who played for Liverpool and won the FA Cup. And he was icon again, the FA Cup Aussie, but before that, my trivia question was always, who was the first Aussie to win an FA Cup? And they always used to say Craig Johnson, it was Ozzy Ardiles. And just to further my unique football journey, the person who told me that joke was Sir Bobby Charlton. He came out to Australia for a soccer clinic, and that was the joke he told me, and it's stayed with me ever since. So there you go. All right, thanks guys.
Up and said, no, you keep going.
Oh, bad luck. Come on, Jack. Oh.
Think about that person. Think about how that person's going to feel when we win tonight. When they're at home and the text messages start coming through to them, and people ringing them, and people sharing the experience with them, and when they wake up tomorrow morning in Australia and everyone wants to talk to them, they'll feel like it's them that's achieved it. And you know what? It is them. Because that's who you're walking out with tonight. When I walk out, my old man's next to me. He's a hard man, my old man, still is today. But he's the one that kept saying to me, no, you can keep doing what you're doing. You're going to love this game and you're going to make it to the very top. Hard man, though. When we won the Asian Cup, said, fucking went to his place because he can't travel, here's the Asian Cup medal. Dad? He goes, well done, son, but if you'd made a substitution a little bit earlier and you stopped this playing out from the back shit, you wouldn't have gone into extra time and you'd be fine. Still a hard man, can't please him. That's who made me. He walks out with me tonight.
Every day he would be off at work before I got up for school. He'd come home at night, well after it got dark. He'd literally sit at the dinner table, just chow down dinner, and then sit in front of the TV for half an hour, fall asleep on the couch, and that was our routine. And it was hard for a young boy like me to get a connection there, but come Sunday, mate, when we had to go to Middle Park, he was just a different bloke. We would drive into the car park and I could just see his sort of shoulders just relax, and he'd get so animated, and we'd walk through the gates and the smell of the souvlaki come in, and the noise, the vibrancy. My dad started talking, because for the most part, everyone's talking Greek, so I guess all the conversations he had in his head during the week that he couldn't have because of the language barrier, he just unleashed walking into there. So, and for me, as a little kid, looking up at him walking through there, mate, I go, like, I loved what the club did to my father. So, and that's why I ended up loving the club. I clicked fairly early that, you know what, if I love this like he loves this, then I'll get close to him.
So you reckon if my old man was out there, he'd be afraid of Germans, Argentinians, Brazilians? That's not what he instilled into me when I was young. That's not the people who made that sacrifice for you in your life. That's not how they raised you. So let them walk out with you tonight. That when the opposition are looking across at you, they're not just looking at you, they're looking at what made you. They're looking at the people who made you.
When I looked around the room, and they weren't all of migrant backgrounds, some come from, country areas, and I knew their journey, and so when I was talking to them, that was the message about the values that the game has given us.
I want to wake up tomorrow morning in the papers and not talking about the next AFL player who fucking farted, or the fucking NRL player who did something stupid, or some fucking rugby union thing. I want them talking about our fucking game. I want them talking about us. You wouldn't be sitting here today unless there was a person in your life who just gave you the most enormous love and belief that, you know what, I don't give a fuck what happens to me, what people say about me, what challenges I have, I'm going to fucking make it.
All right, enjoy your lunch.